Are you a small business owner or a startup owner struggling to generate consistent flow of leads or have predictable forms of revenue coming in? Maybe today you generate some revenue, tomorrow it dries up. You get leads this week, and the next week the leads dry up, and you don't know where these leads are coming from, and you just don't know how to keep these things consistently coming in so that you can grow and scale. If you are facing this problem, there's a likelihood that one of these things I'm going to talk about is your biggest culprit. So keep watching and I'll take you through. Now, as a small business owner, okay, the very first thing that you need to keep your business running is consistent flow of leads. Okay, leads to customers. Leads that are converted become customers, and now customers bring you revenue, and then your revenue, you drive your profits from your revenue, right? Based on my years in marketing, okay, there are 3 stages that every single business has to go through. Okay, number 1 is the foundational. Okay, so foundational means that there are certain things that you need to put in place to ensure that your business is collecting the right kind of data, is tracking your traffic sources, is tracking where your business leads are coming from, where your revenues are coming from, who is your most profitable customer, and where your unprofitable customers or junk traffic is coming from. You need to have that data fidelity to be able to track and understand all these data sources. So that's why I call it foundational. So foundational is what? Setting a data foundation for your business so that you can undertake insights-led marketing. Okay, so number 2 is growth. So after you set up your foundations for your marketing, number 2 is growth. So once you understand where your most profitable customer segments are, and who your ideal customer profile is, and your most profitable platforms, traffic sources are, then you can now grow. So you begin to scale out small. Okay, so you begin to double down on the things that are working for you based on the insights that you are reading from the data that you are gathering on your business, and then you can scale up. So this is where you also have to have your marketing automation, nailing down your ideal customer profile, and also doubling down on your traffic sources that are most profitable, and investing a lot of money, much more money into it. So after this skill, so after this growth stage, then we have the profit stage. So profit stage is all about optimizing your existing channels to ensure that you are more cost efficient, and that your marketing is much more effective, and that you are able to read all these insights and know where to tie the loose ends so that your business, you can squeeze more money from your customers, or see how you can double down the revenues on your existing customers, or how you can double down on your traffic sources. So basically that's all on the profitability. So those are the 3 stages every small business. Of course, there are exceptions to it, like the Amazon model, where you don't have to be profitable before you scale. They keep growing and scaling, but that's because they have a lot of venture capital money and investor money that they can play with. But for small businesses, a lot of 90% of small businesses that are on this planet, we don't have that kind of luxury. So first, it has to be foundation. Second, it has to be growth, and then third, it has to be profits. Okay, now foundational ensures that you are able to generate predictable sources of revenue, and that you are also able to generate predictable sources of leads and customers. And that's the number one thing that a lot of small businesses miss, by the way, because they don't have this foundational data tracking in place. And what do I mean by that? Okay, so when you begin to market, even from day one, before you even set up your Facebook ads, or before you even launch your website and start marketing, the number one thing that you have to do is to set up tracking pixels on your website. So what are tracking pixels? So tracking pixels are pieces of code that you install on your website from various platforms, okay, or applications that allows you to track data and traffic from those platforms, so that you can make sense of the kind of people or the kind of visitors that are visiting your website. Okay, so, and I see a lot of small business make this mistake. People set up their website, they are so eager to go to market, and then they create their Facebook pages, and then they just start running ads, okay, without having all these tracking pixels installed. So that is the number one mistake. So if you are not able to track your data, as I said, you wouldn't know where your most profitable, traffic is coming from. You don't know which platform is bringing you the most profitable customers or bringing you quality traffic, and you don't know what kind of what age group of people are coming to your website, or sometimes even gender, and what are their demographics, what are their behavior, what are their interests. You can't even track all that kind of data. So it is very difficult. Okay, so we don't have this kind of data. You cannot build any revenue generating models or customer acquisition models that are based on live data from your business. And when you are running with data that is not live from your business and you have to use predictable models, then it becomes problematic, because you have to do a lot of experimentation, you have to do trials and error, and you're going to waste a lot of resources, which, by the way, as a small business, you don't have the luxury of these resources. Okay, you are bootstrapping in most cases. So before you launch on day one, here's the number one thing you should do: create your Facebook profile, your business profile, on the top 5 social media platforms. Now, it doesn't matter whether you are going to use those platforms today, but as long as you identify that you are going to use those platforms in the future, create your business profiles on them. So the popular ones are Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So now when you create these profiles, as I said, it doesn't matter whether, you don't necessarily need to start posting on those platforms, just create them. Now, the reason why you are creating them is that so that you can create ad accounts. Okay, ad accounts are advertising accounts that allows you to run ads on those platforms. And when you create those ad accounts, you have the ability to create tracking pixels. So these pieces of code that you put on your website that allows you to track customer behavior, okay, or the traffic that comes to your website, you are able to put them on your website. Okay, so you do that for Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitter. Just put those codes on your website. Even if you don't understand, if you don't have any analytics background and you don't know how to read these analytics, just put them in there. Launch your website and begin your marketing. So whether you are running ads, you are doing whatever you are doing, just market. Down the line, okay, when hopefully you've generated some business and you now want to bring in a marketer to help you polish up your marketing and help you to get more visibility out there, the marketer has the benefit of historical data that they can use to model your revenue generation and your traffic acquisition models. So they are not going to start from scratch. So they already have data that they can work out and say, okay, based on this historical data, 3 months of activity on your website, we realize that Twitter is probably bringing you more quality traffic because the visitors, they stay longer and they have a longer session duration, they visit more pages, and they're able and more visitors are checking out from there. Or you can see, okay, the visitors from Facebook are bouncing off. They are not checking out, they are not purchasing, or probably we only have youngsters, probably 16 to 24, that are visiting your Facebook page. So probably we should change your targeting. Okay, so those kind of details, okay, your marketer or your analytics manager that you employ can make sense of this data, and based on that they can build models that can ensure that you have predictable revenues and predictable customer that you have a predictable customer generating machine in place, because they have the benefit of this historical data. So that's the number one thing that you have to do. So if you don't already have your Facebook pixels and your Twitter and your LinkedIn or whatever platforms, go and create them right now, put them in. It doesn't matter whether you know how to do that. And installing these codes, it's not, you don't need to be tech savvy, especially if you are using platforms like Shopify or WooCommerce or Wix or Squarespace, or those websites. If you go to their settings, their analytics or marketing, there's a place that you can just copy and paste those codes in. If it's too complicated for you, you can go to bestmarketinggigs.com and buy a pixel installation gig. It goes for only $50. Cheap, it saves you all the time. You get an expert to install all these pixels for you, and you can start tracking your customer activity and your website traffic. And hopefully in a few months you can make sense of that data and begin to generate models that are more optimized towards your most profitable traffic sources and help you to scale up and grow. Thank you.